Welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword's with you once again. You may recall some time back, not that long ago, I did a review on this knife, designed by David Chen and produced by the Wepe, that is WEPE Knife Company. And this is the 737. 737. I think he likes Boeing jets. You'll see in a moment. Out of D2, and it kind of looks like the 818 from Petrified Fish. It's a takeoff on that design also by David Chen for Petrified Fish. And we're all certainly beginning to think that there's a link between not only Wepe and Petrified Fish, but also perhaps Tucson, because I'm seeing a lot of the same sort of manufacturer here. And David will correct me if I'm wrong, but there's kind of a complicated backstory there. Maybe not that complicated. A lot of people feel there's just a few knife factories in Yangjiang, China, making knives. And that could be the case, as we see in other countries as well, under different labels. But this is a design by David. This was called the Camping Friend. I believe that's what it said. Camping Friend, not Camper's Friend. Camping Friend 737. Okay, so let's put the Camping Friend aside. I'm still using two hands while the right hand is healing up there. Surgery stuff. And that's my excuse, and I'm sticking by it. So I'm going to go left-handed. But here we have none other than the 757, not 737, 757, and this one is named Defense Master. Another design by David Chen. Thank you, David Chen, for sending this for review. And you can see it is quite a bit different blade with that compound grind that seems to be very popular these days. You see a lot of companies, including Vostede and many others, Civivi and so forth, turning out these compound ground blades. Whether or not there's a true advantage or not, I'm not sure. I did notice that in just testing the sharpness here, not on paper, but just feeling the sharpness, that I'm getting a sharper edge there where the plane of the bevel is a little lower on this portion than on this portion. Ample choil and a heavily sculpted G10 handle with a bolster of green G10 in this case. I'm not sure what other colors it comes in. I will leave you links. But this is kind of a hollow, which is very interesting. Not sure you can see the entire profiling there. There you go. You can see it there. So you got like a hollow in here and a flat here. So this is interesting because when you hold it, back out a little, not too much. When you hold it, that sort of helps your fingers. The clip's mounted fairly high out. In other words, it's a tall clip. Got plenty of space there, even though we've got the button head screws. One thing I would like to see is flat-headed screws with these knives at the very least. It is not transferable to the left side. I would like to see that. And jimping could be a little more aggressive. It's just kind of bumpy, basically. When you choke up in here, however, it feels very, very solid. Not that it didn't when I was back a bit. We're going to dive right into some specifications. See if we can get a length on the blade and overall, etc. So 8.9, we're going to call that about 8.9 inches on the overall, big knife. And shy of 3 3/4, going to call it like 3 5/8 around there. If I were to give it a decimal, I would say that it's like 365-ish for the blade. and 3.5 in the cutting edge because of that significant choil. But it is a full-size choil, and you can actually get your finger in there, unlike some choils. Blade stock in millimeters is going to be pretty thick. Ooh, 4.6. Yeah, it's a beefy boy. Let's get that again. 4.6. Switching to inches. 0.17. And at the widest point of the handle, 0.67. Pretty wide. But again, sculpted. That's right where the ridge is where I'm measuring it, not down in this hollow here. And finally, how about a weight? Let's get the old scale out and start her up. And we have a beefy 7 ounces. We're just going to even that out to 7 ounces. Yeah, and that certainly beckons the question, does it have weight relieving? And I believe it does. See if we can get a light in there. Yeah. So if you can see it, there are some large holes skeletonizing on the show side and a few less smaller ones up the top on the liner lock side. So 7 ounces, thick stock, that's certainly contributing to it. Getting up into the 5mm range, that is heavy stock, even though they've removed quite a bit with the higher grind here and the swedge on the top. Definitely a serious looking knife as far as carrying the name Defense Master. Point on line and kind of a long clip on the top, deep belly. Even though you're losing some of that cutting edge, you're not losing any of the penetrating ability of this knife. With a tall blade, it's still pretty pointy. You can see there, it is a flat grind, I'm pretty sure, even though we've got the compound. What I'm feeling is flat on both areas here. I could be wrong, but really certainly feels flat on both, as well as the swedge. In the hand, it is hand filling for sure. Top to bottom, it's pretty tall in the handle. You can lay your thumb out fully. It feels pretty confidence inspiring. If you choke up, you're definitely locked in. And you can still bring it up. Yeah, you got to bring it way up to there to begin using the point. So the point doesn't drop enough to consider this a good knife for point work in terms of EDC cutting stuff, but in terms of using the belly, absolutely. Very nice. And I really don't think that compound is going to get in the way of anything. Quite a good stop there as far as the flipper tab goes for acting as a guard. And we've got your detent right about there. And how does it drop? Oh, beautifully smooth on bearings. Absolutely. And it swings out kind of like a heavy axe. I mean, it's certainly not as big or gigantic as some knives, but it is smooth. And at 7 ounces, you may not like it because it's kind of a pocket anchor, but if you're looking for a robust knife, that is a liner lock, and a liner lock that's engaging at about 25%, I would say. And a point lining up nicely, centering, with not a great blade to handle ratio. We've got a good 1/2 inch at least left over from the end of the handle to the point of the blade, but no chance there of picking up the point accidentally with your fingers as we have with some knives. It definitely, when you definitely feel it swing out like a heavy sprung automatic, I mean, you feel that reverberation when that comes out. Let's take a look at it again next to the camping friend, the 737. As far as size goes, they're very close. The 737, well, actually, it's a bit longer. Let's see, where is it? No, identical. This being kind of a jumbo version of the Petrified Fish 818 that David designed. Much taller blade on the Defense Master. And this isn't that skinny a blade. So we've got lots of width, lots of muscle in this knife. Taller handle too. I mean, he really did design it around something you could put in your fist and feel like you're going to do something with it, you know? Why don't we bring out, for further compare, the venerable, still having some difficulties there with the hands, the venerable Rat 1 Ontario, and that's coming right in there too. I'd say it's pretty much the equal in length of the two Wepe designs. You don't get a whole lot in the box. Basically, you get microfiber cleaning cloth, a plain old cardboard box with a slip cover over it. Let's see, no label on the box, but these are review samples, so they may not be labeled. So not sure what these are going for. I'm going to look, going to give you some links. Haven't really looked out at the website yet. This came in last week, and I did a Instagram on it, but really haven't done too much more with the 757. So we got a Boeing 757 and a 737 in the house here, folks. Thank you, David Chen, for sending me this really muscular knife. The 757 Defense Master by Wepe, designed by David Chen. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. I'll be back soon.